Righto, we're here to kick things off with our best memories from the Tour de France. I don't know if this is the best memory, but it's probably the most iconic. Stage 1, 2013, 100th anniversary of the Tour de France. Julian Dean, we're ever going to be known as that team that completely cocked up the finish.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely embarrassing with that bus getting stuck under the gantry there. You know, you got to think about this in the big picture. The team buses are the icons of the team. You know, they're the big banners. That's where all the advertising is, and all those people out there. We certainly got our level of advertising that day.
The problem was, Jules, the day before, the team was staying with Astana, who were very serious. They were trying to win it with Nibali, and we had them out with wigs doing the AC/DC video. And I just remember Astana's faces looking at us like, who are these fucking clowns?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, that was always our way, right? We just had a point of difference about ourselves and getting out there and enjoying it. And, those videos, the Backstage Pass videos, particularly the AC/DC and the Call Me Maybe video were iconic moments in the Backstage Pass. And especially the bullhorns out there with everyone early on the Tour de France when we hadn't even won anything.
So we're under pressure. And we've got stage 1. We're trying to win the stage with Matt Goss. So the way it all went down, Jerry's at the finish line. There's no bus. And he's like, where's the bus? And he says to Steve-O, where's the bus, mate? If we win the stage, there's no promotion. You're at the hotel. What happened? How did all this go to shit?
Gary, the bus driver. Actually, I think this is Gary's first Tour de France from memory as well.
He was already
pretty nervous guy. Good guy, Gary, but and always wanted to do a good job, you know. So he gets the call from Steve-O. His English isn't really that good, so him and Steve-O have spoken in Spanish, and then he turns to me in this pidgin English, like, I've got to get the bus to the finish.
Well, I heard that the first guy said, no, you can't go on the race route, but anyone that's dealt with Neil Stevens when he's red hot, you've got to follow Steve-O's orders and almost drive over the guy that's got the red flag. So Gary's bulldozed it past this bloke. I was standing there with Jerry and I said, mate, this is actually good promotion because the race is only 20 minutes away. And Jerry's looking at the bus. Everyone's got the eyes gazed. The finish line's packed and all of a sudden, bang! And apparently Robbie McEwen was sitting alongside Gary and coached him into it because Gary, his maths was pretty good. He thought, we're not going to fit through here. And Robbie was the one that said, yeah, they've waved you through, mate. It'll fit. And the gas cylinder exploded. I remember Phil Liggett was in the commentary box. He thought the thing was going to tip on him. Matt Keenan said that Christian Prudhomme was in there swearing, going absolutely apeshit because this bus is stuck there and the race is coming, Jules. And at one point, as we saw in the backstage, they were going to change the finish where there was a bloody roundabout.
There's 6Ks from the finish, the race. The bus under the gantry. This is the most highly publicised sporting event in the world. They thought that going to Corsica, the biggest thing that was going to be happening was potential terrorism attacks from the independence movement in Corsica. But no, it wasn't. The biggest thing that was happening was the bus getting stuck under the gantry.
So what, they're going to stop the
3Ks before the finish, they finish from the race.
They're going to move the finish line?
Yeah. Because our bus is blocking the finish. Oh.
It looked like the bus wasn't going to get out. Some French guy stuck his head over the barricade and said, why don't you let the tyres out? In his French. And they've gone, so they let the air out of the tyres. They lowered the bus. They got it out. Unbelievable effort of Gary to reverse park under that amount of pressure. They were able to finish the stage. And I just remember afterwards, there was just relief. You know, we all started to get colour back into our face. And I remember at the hotel, Jerry said to Gary, I asked the bus to be parked as close as you could to the finish line. I didn't mean bloody literally, mate. And then everyone had a laugh. But what people don't know is you and I, we stayed at a different hotel that night. And we used to love that because we could get away from the seriousness of the team. We could have a few beers. You know, we were easily excited. And we really needed to let the steam out that night, mate.
Well, that's right. There was a bit of stress going on, so we got back to the hotel. It's called the Overflow Hotel, right? It was always extras from the entourage at the Tour de France, and the shit kickers get sent to the ones that don't matter. They get sent to the Overflow Hotel, so that's where we always ended up. But yeah, good times there. always had a chance to have a few beers and reflect on the day. But that evening got away on us a little bit.
Oh, a little bit. I remember it was about midnight. Christophe Ramon was uploading his photos and he said to us, hang on, have you done the Backstage Pass? We said, nah, mate. He goes, it's bloody midnight. When are you going to edit it? We're like, we'll get it sorted, mate. I remember waking up the next morning in sheer panic. And I said to you, oh, no, Julz. And you go, what's that? I said, I haven't done the Backstage. You go, what are you talking about? You did last night. And I remember opening up my laptop, looking on YouTube, 130,000 views on the first episode. And my heart rate went through the roof, and pressing play, it was like I was watching it for the first time. And I remember getting through the video, getting to the end, I go, actually, that was pretty good, mate. And you go, yeah, I did the music.
Yeah, so that sort of became a bit of a theme for us, didn't it? Many of the Backstage Passes on the overflow hotels, taking our time and just enjoying it, and me being the musical director as much as I could.
Well, unfortunately, the track that you chose was AC/DC Highway to Hell. The video's been blocked now on YouTube, so the pictures that we've brought up today are exclusive because you can't watch it anymore. And that was also because of our music video. After we released it, AC/DC, they cracked the shits. They didn't want people in Lycra, and they said, that's it. Everyone globally, you can't use our music on YouTube, so that's our fault.
Well, at least we're known for something, mate.